Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Arvindaya. Om Anandamayi, Om Chaitanyamayi, Om Satyamayi, Om Paramayi. O my beloved Lord, let us be Thine integrally. Let Lord's divine peace be with us. Om peace, peace, peace. Peace to the mind, peace to the vital, peace to the physical, peace to the emotions, peace to all. Prayer to Sri Aurobindo. To Thee who has been the material envelope of our Master, to Thee our infinite gratitude. Before Thee who has worked, who has done so much for us, who has worked, struggled, suffered, hoped, endured so much. Before Thee who has willed all, attempted all, prepared, achieved all for us. Before Thee we bow down and implore that we may never forget, even for a moment, all we owe to Thee. Prayer to Mother India. O our Mother, O Soul of India, Mother who has never forsaken Thy children, even in the days of darkest depression, even when they turned away from Thy voice, served other masters and denied Thee. Now, when they have arisen and the light is on Thy face, in this dawn of Thy liberation, in this great hour we salute Thee. Guide us so that the horizon of freedom opening before us may be also a horizon of true greatness and of Thy true life in the community of the nations. Guide us so that we may be always on the side of great ideals and show to men Thy true visage as a leader in the ways of the Spirit and a friend and helper of all the peoples. Burning brazier. To be the divine love, love powerful, infinite, unfathomable, in every activity, in all the worlds of being. It is for this I cry to Thee, O Lord, let me be consumed with this love divine, love powerful, infinite, unfathomable in every activity, in all the worlds of being. Transmute me into that burning brazier so that all the atmosphere of earth may be purified with its flame. Oh, to be thy love infinitely. Book 11, Canto 1. The Eternal Day, the Soul's Choice, and the Supreme Consummation. Page 696. The form of things had ceased within her soul, invisible that perfect Godhead now. Around her some tremendous spirit lived, mysterious flame around a melting pearl, and in the phantom of abolished space there was a voice unheard by ears that cried, "Choose, Spirit, thy supreme choice not given again. From now, from my highest being looks at thee, the nameless, formless peace where all things rest. In a happy, vast, sublime cessation, no, an immense extinction in eternity, a point that disappears in the infinite. Felicity of the extinguished flame, last sinking of a wave in a boundless sea, end of the trouble of thy wandering thoughts, close of the journeying of thy pilgrim soul." Accept, O music, weariness of thy notes, O stream, wide breaking of thy channel banks. The moments fell into eternity, but someone yearned within a bosom unknown, and silently the woman's heart replied, "Thy peace, O Lord, a boon within to keep amid the roar and ruin of wild time, for the magnificent soul of man on earth. Thy calm, O Lord, that bears thy hands of joy, limitless, like ocean round a lonely isle." A second time the eternal cry arose, "Wide open are the ineffable gates in front. My spirit leans down to break the knot of earth, amorous of oneness, without thought or sign, to cast down wall and fence, to strip heaven bare. See with the large eye of infinity, unweave the stars and into silence pass. In an immense and world-destroying pause, she heard 1,000,000 creatures cry to her. Through the tremendous stillness of her thoughts, immeasurably the woman's nature spoke. Thy oneness, Lord, in many approaching hearts, my sweet infinity of thy numberless souls, mightily retreating like a sea in ebb. A third time swelled the great admonishing call. I spread abroad the refuge of my wings. Out of its incommunicable deeps, my power looks forth of mightiest splendor, stilled into its majesty of sleep, withdrawn above the dreadful whirlings of the world. A sob of things was answer to the voice, and passionately the woman's heart replied, Thy energy, Lord, to seize on woman and man, to take all things and creatures in their grief, and gather them into a mother's arms, solemn and distant, like a seraph's lyre. A last great time the warning sound was heard. I opened the wide eye of solitude to uncover the voiceless rapture of my bliss, where in a pure and exquisite hush it lies, motionless in its slumber of ecstasy, resting from the sweet madness of the dance, out of whose beat the throb of hearts was born, breaking the silence with appeal and cry, a hymn of adoration tireless climbed, a music beat of winged uniting souls. Then all the women yearningly replied, Thy embrace which rends the living knot of pain, Thy joy, O Lord, in which all creatures breathe, thy magic flowing waters of deep love, thy sweetness give to me for earth and men. Then, after silence, a still blissful cry began, such as arose from the infinite when the first whisperings of a strange delight imagined in its deep the joy to seek, the passion to discover and to touch, the enamored love which rhymed the chanting worlds. O beautiful body of the incarnate Word, thy thoughts are mine, I have spoken with thy voice. My will is thine, what thou hast chosen I choose. All thou hast asked I give to earth and men. All shall be written out in destiny's book by my trustee of thought and plan and act, the executor of my will, eternal time. But since thou hast refused my mindless calm, and turned from my termless peace in which is expunct the visage of space, and the shape of time is lost, and from happy extinction of thy separate self, in my uncompanioned lone eternity. For not for thee the nameless wordless naught, annihilation of thy living soul, and the end of thought and hope and life and love, in the blank measureless unknowable. I lay my hands upon thy soul of flame. I lay my hands upon thy heart of love. I yoke thee to my power of work in time, because thou hast obeyed my timeless will. Because thou hast obeyed my timeless will, because thou hast chosen to share earth's struggle and fate, and lean in pity over earth-bound men, and turned aside to hell and yearn to save. I bind by thy heart's passion thy heart to mine, and lay my splendid yoke upon thy soul. Now will I do in thee my marvelous works. I will fasten thy nature with my cords of strength, subdue to my delight thy spirit's limbs, and make thee a vivid knot of all my bliss, and build in thee my proud and crystal home. Thy days shall be my shafts of power and light, thy nights my starry mysteries of joy, and all my clouds lie tangled in thy hair, and all my springtides marry in thy mouth. Page 699. O Sunward, thou shalt raise the earth soul to light, and bring down God into the lives of men. Earth shall be my work chamber and my house, my garden of life to plant a seed divine. When all thy work in human time is done, the mind of earth shall be a home of light, the life of earth a tree growing towards heaven. The body of earth a tabernacle of God. Awakened from the mortal's ignorance, men shall be lit with the Eternal's ray, and the glory of my sun lift in their thoughts, and feel in their hearts the sweetness of my love, and in their acts my power's miraculous drive. My will shall be the meaning of their days, living for me, by me, in me they shall live. In the heart of my creation's mystery, I will enact the drama of thy soul, inscribe the long romance of thee and me. I will pursue thee across the centuries. Thou shalt be hunted through the world by love. naked of ignorance protecting veil, and without covert from my radiant gods. No shape shall screen thee from my divine desire. Nowhere shalt thou escape my living eyes. In the nudity of thy discovered self, in a bare identity with all that is, disrobed of thy covering of humanity, divested of the dense veil of human thought, made one with every mind and body and heart, made one with all nature and with self and God, summing in thy single soul my mystic world. I will possess in thee my universe. The universe find all I am in thee. Thou shalt bear all things, that all things may change. Thou shalt fill all with my splendor and my bliss. Thou shalt meet all with thy transmuting soul. Assailed by my infinitudes above, and quivering in immensities below, pursued by me through my mind's wall-less vast, oceanic with the surges of my life, a swimmer lost between two leaping seas, by my outer pains and inner sweetnesses, finding my joy in my opposite mysteries. Thou shalt respond to me from every nerve. A vision shall compel thy coursing breath. Thy heart shall drive thee on the wheel of works. Thy mind shall urge thee to the flames of thought, to meet me in the abyss and on the heights, to feel me in the tempest and the calm, and love me in the noble and the wild, in beautiful things and terrible desire. The pains of hell shall be to thee my kiss. The flowers of heaven persuade thee with my touch. My fiercest masks shall my attractions bring. Music shall find thee in the voice of swords. Beauty pursue thee through the core of flame. Thou shalt know me in the rolling of the spheres, and cross me in the atoms of the world. The wheeling forces of my universe shall cry to thee the summons of my name. Delight shall drop down from my nectarous moon. My fragrance sees thee in the jasmine snare. My eye shall look upon thee from the sun. Mirror of nature's secret spirit made, thou shalt reflect my hidden heart of joy. Thou shalt drink down my sweetness unalloyed in my pure lotus cup of my starry brim. My dreadful hands laid on thy bosom shall force thy being, bathed in fiercest longings streams. Thou shalt discover the one and quivering note, and cry the harp of all my melodies, and roll my foaming wave in seas of love. Even my disaster's clutch shall be to thee the ordeal of my rapture's contrary shape. In pain self shall smile on thee my secret face. Thou shalt bear my ruthless beauty unabridged amid the world's intolerable wrongs, trampled by the violent misdeeds of time. Cry out to the ecstasy of my rapture's touch. All beings shall be to thy life my emissaries, drawn to me on the bosom of thy friend, compelled to meet me in thy enemy's eyes. My creatures shall demand me from thy heart. Thou shalt not shrink from any brother soul. Thou shalt be attracted helplessly to all. Men seeing thee shall feel my hands of joy. In sorrow's pangs feel steps of the world's delight. Dear life, experience its tumultuous shock in the mutual craving of two opposites. Hearts touched by thy love shall answer to my call, discover the ancient music of the spheres in the revealing accents of thy voice, and nearer draw to me because thou art enamored of thy spirit's loveliness. They shall embrace my body in thy soul. Here in thy life the beauty of my love. Know the thrilled bliss with which I made the worlds. All that thou hast shall be for others' bliss. All that thou art shall to my hands belong. I will pour delight from thee as from a jar. I will whirl thee as my chariot through the ways. I will use thee as my sword and as my lyre. I will play on thee my minstrelies of thought. And when thou art vibrant with all ecstasy, and when thou livest one spirit with all things, then will I spare thee not my living fires, but make thee a channel for my timeless force, my hidden presence. Let thee unknowing on from thy beginning in earth's voiceless bosom, through life and pain and time and will and death, through outer shocks and inner silences, along the mystic roads of space and time, to the experience which all nature hides. Who hunts and seizes me, my captive grows. This shalt thou henceforth learn from thy heartbeats. Forever love, O beautiful slave of God, O lasso of my rapture's widening nose, become my cord of universal love. The spirits ensnared by thee force to delight of creation's oneness, sweet and fathomless, compelled to embrace my myriad unities, and all my endless forms and divine souls. My mind, O mind, grow full of the eternal peace. O word, cry out the immortal litany. Built is the golden tower, the flame child born. Descend to life with him thy heart desires. O Satyavan, O luminous Savitri, I sent you forth of old beneath the stars, a dual power of God in an ignorant world, in a hedged creation shut from limitless self, bringing down God to the insentient blue, lifting earth beings to immortality in the world of my knowledge and my ignorance, where God is unseen and only is heard a name, and knowledge is trapped in the boundaries of mind, and life is oiled in the dragnet of desire, and matter hides the soul from its own sight. You are my force at work to uplift earth's fate, myself that moves up the immense incline between the extremes of the spirit's night and day. He is my soul that climbs from nascent night through life and mind and supernature's vast to the supernal light of timelessness, and my eternity hid in moving time, and my boundlessness cut by the curve of space. It climbs to the greatness it has left behind, and to the beauty and joy from which it fell, to the closeness and sweetness of all things divine, to light without bounds and life illimitable, taste of the depths of the ineffable's bliss, touch of the immortal and the infinite. He is my soul that gropes out of the beast to reach humanity's heights of lucent thought and the vicinity of truth sublime. He is the Godhead growing in human lives and in the body of earth beings' forms. He is the soul of man climbing to God in nature's surge out of earth's ignorance. O Savitri, thou art my spirit's power, the revealing voice of my immortal word, the face of truth upon the roads of time, pointing to the souls of men the routes to God, while the dim light from the veiled spirit's peak falls upon matter stark inconsciously, as if a pale moonbeam on a dense glade, and mind in a half light moves amid half truths, and the human heart knows only human love, and life is a stumbling and imperfect force, and the body counts out its precarious days. You shall be born into man's dubious hours, in forms that hide the soul's divinity, and show through veils of the earth's doubting air. My glory, breaking as through clouds a sun, or burning like a rare and inward fire, and with my nameless influence fill men's lives, yet shall they look up as to peaks of God and feel God like a circumambient air, and rest on God as on a motionless base? Yet shall there glow on mind like a horned moon, The spirit's crescent splendor in pale skies and light man's life upon his Godward road. But more there is concealed in God's beyond that shall one day reveal its hidden face. Now mine is all and its uncertain ray. Mind is the leader of the body and life. Mind, the thought-driven chariot of the soul, carrying the luminous wanderer in the night to vistas of a far, uncertain dawn, to the end of the spirit's fathomless desire, to its dream of absolute truth and utter bliss. There are greater destinies mind cannot surmise. Fixed on the summit of the evolving path, the traveler now treads in the ignorance, unaware of his next step, not knowing his goal. Mind is not all his tireless climb can reach. There is a fire on the apex of the worlds. There is a house of the eternal's light. There is an infinite truth, an absolute power. The spirit's mightiness shall cast off its mask. Its greatness shall be felt, shaping the world's course. It shall be seen in its own veilless beams, a star rising from the inconscious night, a sun climbing to supernature's peak, abandoning the dubious middle way. A few shall glimpse the miraculous origin, and some shall feel in you the secret force, and they shall turn to meet a nameless threat, adventurers into a mightier day. Ascending out of the limiting breaths of mind, they shall discover the world's huge design and step into the truth, the right, the vast. You shall reveal to them the hidden eternities, the breadth of infinitudes not yet revealed, some rapture of the bliss that made the world. some rush of the force of God's omnipotence, some beam of the omniscient mystery. But when the hour of the divine draws near, the mighty Mother shall take birth in time, and God be born into the human clay in forms made ready by your human lives. Then shall the truth supreme be given to men. There is a being beyond the being of mind, an immeasurable cast into many forms, a miracle of the multitudinous one. There is a consciousness mind, cannot touch its speech, cannot utter, nor its thought reveal. It has no home on earth, no center in man, yet is the source of all things thought and done, the fount of the creation and its works. It is the origin of all truth here, the sun orb of mind's fragmentary rays, infinity's heaven that spills the rain of God, the immense that calls to man to expand the spirit, the wide aim that justifies its narrow attempts, a channel for the little it tastes of bliss. Some shall be made the glory's receptacles and vehicles of the Eternal's luminous power. These are the high forerunners, the heads of time, the great deliverers of earth-bound mind, the high transfigures of human clay, the firstborn of a new supernal race. The incarnate dual power shall open God's door, eternal supermind touch earthly time. The Superman shall wake in mortal man and manifest the hidden demigod, or grow into the God light and God force, revealing the secret deity in the cave. Then shall the earth be touched by the Supreme. His bright unveiled transcendence shall illumine the mind and heart and force the life and act to interpret his inexpressible mystery in a heavenly alphabet of divinity signs. In a heavenly alphabet of divinity's signs. Thanks to the spirit of Aurobindo and Mother for this beautiful session of revealing the secret of Savitri to all the souls who joined in the name of the Yajna. Thank you.